Hey, hello everybody. This is Jorge from Mexicali Fish Keeper. I'm pretty excited today to bring you guys something that I think it's really special. I'm out here in Las Vegas. We came out here to see our daughter. We're out here for the weekend, and you know me. Every time I come up to one of the bigger cities, one of the I wouldn't say the first things, but one of my priorities is to always try to find a new fish store to go check out. And today I've got a hell of a treat for you guys. I'm out here off of Charleston and Oakley, I believe, or no, Decatur and Oakley. And that's basically the main cross corners out here in Vegas. And we've come out here to this aquarium store. It's very up my alley. Let me put it to you like that. You guys have always heard me talking about plants and aquariums and stuff like that. Well, this just happens to fill the bill. So let me turn the camera around, take you guys in, and hopefully you guys enjoy this as much as I have. All right, this is the outside of the store. Again, we're out here on roughly the intersections of Oakley and Decatur, out here in Vegas. So this is the store. It's Mike and Miguel's Fish and Plant store. They used to be operating under a different name, and about 3 years ago they decided to do the transition. So enough with that, let's get in here and check it out. As you guys can see, we're walking in here and it's like a total oasis out here in the middle of the desert. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you guys through. This is Miguel.
Hi.
One of the things that you immediately notice when you come in here is you can't help but to notice all the greenery that they have going on. I know this is something that I've been talking about on a regular basis about, growing immersed plants out of your aquariums and seeing that the trend is headed that direction. Well, this is the epitome of that. It doesn't get any better than this. All these aquariums have some sort of foliage growing out of the top of the aquariums where the roots are in the water, and it just really creates a real impact as you come in here. You can't help but feel like you're in a little bit of nature. So let's kind of walk real quick around the store so you guys get a feel of it. It's not a very big store, but what they've done is amazing as far as what they've been doing with the plants. This is a register area. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell, but that back wall and that corner wall down there are amazing with all these plants that are growing out. All of these plants are for sale. You guys are selling everything, right?
Oh, not over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is where we grow them, and then eventually, like these guys over here, they're gonna get chopped down, propagated, rooted, and then sold.
Okay, so this is just your mother plants?
All of these guys are just they just live there.
Yeah, so basically you're getting trimmings off of these plants is what you're...
Pretty much, yeah, the ones that go longer up.
Yeah. So in here, well, one of the things that really stands out about this place, hold on. At one point, the store used to focus on Discus and Altum Angels. But one of the things that's really standing out, they've kind of moved beyond that now. Now they're focusing on a lot of more plants and fish, general fish, but they're still the #1 breeders of Altum Angels in the United States. And these are all bred by them. You'll see that they're a reoccurring theme throughout the store. They'll have them in different sizes. If we go over here, you'll see they have some rainbow fish in here. Obviously all this is roots, from plants that are growing immersed. And one of the things I was asking them is how often they do water changes, but it seems because they have all these plants and stuff that's sucking up all the nutrients, they're really just doing top-offs for the most part. But here's another tank with some smaller Altums in there. You'll notice that they have a lot of fish that cater more towards the nano fish side of the hobby, and a lot of live bears. And obviously they got aquarium plants. They've got plants or house plants or immersed plants. Here's some more of their Altums. I mean, if you're really looking for Altum Angels, this is definitely the place to come to. They do ship. From talking to Miguel, that is one thing that they do, is they do ship the Altum Angels. And they have a facility where they're breeding those. but it's not here on site. Here you have some more Altums, you have some barbs in there. I mean, just looking at these tanks, it's amazing. You have some mollies over here, different kinds of mollies. You just, everywhere you look, you're going to see plants, 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 plants. It's one of the things that I really enjoy about this. These platies are pretty cool. Are these koi platies?
Huh?
Are these koi platies? The ones that are, yeah.
Kohaku.
Kohaku.
Yeah. Kohaku swordtail.
Oh, these are swordtails. These are all females then? For the, oh no, there's some males in there. I see them.
They're still growing.
Yeah. And Variatus platies, or are these also swordtails?
On top they're mixed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're mixed. I think those are sunrise platies, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, high fin. I can see the high fins on them. Yeah, there's some more in here. And right now we'll go ahead and have an opportunity to talk to Miguel and tell us a little bit more about what the situation is with the store. But this is one of the things that as soon as I walked in here, I was super, super impressed. Just all the plants that are going in and out everywhere you look. This to me would be like the ideal fish room setup. But
that's what we're trying.
yeah, it's one of the things that really strikes me is that you walk in and it doesn't feel like a store.
Yeah, we're more of a boutique type of deal. Monday to Friday we're open by appointment, and Saturday, Sunday on our days off from our other business, that's when we man the store. We're gonna be filling the tanks. We're gonna move away from the mollies and the platies, and we are working on filling most of the tanks with tetras.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tetras, tank raised Altum Angelfish and nano fish, you know, for people to have for their planted tanks.
Now, how long has, I know the store had a different name in the past. You guys were Discus America?
Yeah, we were Discus America before, but then we ended up stopping selling discus, so we changed our name to Mike and Miguel's Fish and Plant Store. Mike is my partner. He's not here right now. He doesn't do videos anyway. But yeah, so we changed our name. We're also a licensed nursery here in Las Vegas, so pretty much we focus on house plants and fish tank plants.
Now the plants, obviously, you import some of, or you're buying wholesale some of these plants, or is this all stuff you guys have grown?
Pretty much we buy the first plant, and then we grow it, and then we propagate it, and then we root it. So we don't really sell any of the house plants that we didn't propagate and grow.
Oh, so a lot of these plants is stuff that you guys have grown yourselves.
All of the house plants we grew ourselves.
Wow, that's super impressive.
So, I mean, some of these guys over here we've been growing for the last 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then now, you know, we're starting our terrarium section as well, and yeah, it takes a lot of time. But
yeah,
we really enjoy it. You know, we want to make people happy when they come in.
What are some of the successes if somebody's interested in doing, you know, plants that are above the tank but with roots in the water? Is there anything special that people have to know about being able to do that, or is it just
got to wash the roots really well?
Okay.
Wash the roots really well and hope you don't drown the plant.
Do they require a lot of water movement for the roots, or
bubbles? Bubbles. We noticed that bubbles do great, kind of like in hydroponics or aquaponics. When you have bubbles circulating the solution, it does well for the roots. But
now,
these ones, the roots just kind of like grew in, and they just became a part of the tank. And pretty much, those are all just pothos roots in the 240.
Okay. Are you guys adding any nutrients to the tank, or are they just strictly based off of what the fish are producing?
So pretty much over here in the tanks, that's just what the fish does over here in these tanks over here, and then on the wall, that's just what the fish does. But on the moss poles on the wall, we're using foliage focus by
now you're basically your mother
technology.
plants to help them grow quicker and stuff like that.
Yes.
So if people wanted to take some of these plants and put them in their aquariums, they don't have to do anything special other than...
We actually have some that are already ready to go in the aquarium. So pretty much these ones are already rooted to go into a fish tank.
Oh, okay.
So there's going to be no stress on the part of the plant. They're just ready to go. and then we have all of these guys are ready to go too.
Yeah, what is humidity levels important for these kind of plants?
So humidity levels, yes. The store never goes below 50% humidity.
Okay.
In our ceiling, we have air movers and dehumidifiers. We have another dehumidifier over there.
Oh, okay.
Just so that we don't get rained on by by humidity. But everything is climate controlled, and everything that's above the above our ceiling is also dried. We do water damage and mold as well, and that's why we have the machines to do it.
Now, as far as, and I'm asking these questions because I have this problem. I live in Arizona. All my tanks are in the garage. So just the fact that we're in Arizona tends to be a lot drier, kind of like here in Vegas. I do notice that in the summer, my plants tend to strain a little bit more. I get a lot of browning on the leaves and stuff like that. Now, does the temperature also play a factor into causing problems? What would be like the ideal range to keep these plants in, to keep them thriving?
Our store is 78 degrees all year, and at least 50% humidity. So it's 78 in the winter, 78 in the spring, 78 in the fall, 78 in the summer.
So temperatures above that, the plants start struggling a little bit?
Before we used to keep the store at 80.
Okay.
And then our customers were struggling a little bit. So,
but not the plants, huh?
But not the plants. But, you know, we want to just make everything like more comfortable for everyone. So 78 was like our ideal temperature. Right now we are at 78 degrees and 55% humidity.
Now, if you start going above the 50%, is that when you start having problems with mold and stuff like that in your home?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you were going to do this like in a plant room, it would be better to have air circulation so that you can, or an air exchanger, so that you can bring out humid air and then, you know.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, people that are doing house plants that require a lot of humidity are doing them in cabinets.
Oh, okay.
Where they can have 100% humidity in the cabinet or like in their prop box, and you know, just have fun with their plants.
Yeah.
But for the most part, all of these other plants that are already in the water, they just do well.
Are there plants that do a little bit better in the upper temperatures than others? The reason I ask is I know I had a fern.
Pothos do fine. Ferns are like indestructible. I have a living wall in my garage. My monsteras do well. The pothos on the moss pools, they do well as well.
Okay.
And last year it was like record-breaking temperature over here. 106 in the garage. They all made it.
Nice.
I lost half of my wall, but you know the ones that made it are pretty much pothos, monsteras, Florida beauties.
So, how many species of plants do you guys keep in the store?
Ooh, I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot. So pretty much on the moss poles over there, we're growing them out. Mike is gonna propagate them. We're gonna cut them down, and then we're gonna plant them. And pretty much those are the ones that we sell. But we're growing plants all year long. Things are always changing. We come out with new plants every week, or just different from what we had like the previous week. I do a weekly weekend video on our Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
So that people can see what we actually have and see if they want to make the trip down over here.
Are you guys active on YouTube at all?
I do have a YouTube channel, but that's like my personal channel.
Oh, okay.
Miguel Torres Fish Tank, but it's kind of like not really fish tank.
The store
all
doesn't
fish tank stuff. We do YouTube on the store, but not too much. It would still all be under Discus America.
Okay.
And it would still show like what we used to do with the discus, and then we have a lot of information on Altum Angelfish on there too.
And you guys weren't associated at all with Discus USA up in the LA area, or
no?
Because the logo seems similar. That's the only reason I was asking.
Yeah. No. Discus America was my partner Mike's company, and then I started working with him, and then we sold a lot of discus, and we were shipping them, and and then we kind of just got killed by the price of shipping, importing, and then pretty much the local market was like not saturated, but it kind of like dried up for us, and it was too hard to to just keep selling one kind of fish, because when we imported the discus, we got it straight from the farm in Malaysia, and pretty much we couldn't have any other fish in because our tanks were super sterile.
No, okay.
So it was kind of impossible for us to have fun, you know, with the hobby. And then now that we're doing the smaller, more fun fish, guppies, mollies, and yeah, we're having a blast.
Now, the other thing that I've always been curious, because I'm just starting to dip my toes into houseplants and stuff like that. I'm kind of late coming into the hobby. But can you take any houseplant and convert it over to a water plant, or is there only specific species of plants that will do?
It just all depends on what you're wanting to see on top of your tank.
Okay.
I mean, not all plants make it. Some of them will drown. You know, do some research on some of the plants, because some of them might be poisonous to fish. And yeah, pretty much we've tried pretty much every single plant that we possibly could. Not all of them made it, but the ones that do, we could keep trying.
Now,
you know?
I'm going to ask you probably the hardest question. Which one is your favorite tank?
Oh, my favorite tank is this one. I actually just sold some plants from here, but this one is my favorite one. But my client, that was when you came, he's my favorite, and yeah, he gets whatever he wants. So yeah, but this one is always evolving. When we get the new plant shipment in, I put some plants like. Later when you leave, I'll fix it up and I'll add more Anubias.
Oh, okay.
Anubias was also my favorite plant as a hobbyist, and that's why we have so much of it.
Now, as far as the aquatic plants, would you consider that you guys have a lot of like beginner-friendly kind of plants? Don't require CO2?
All the plants that we have are beginner-friendly because we don't want to give ourselves a hard time.
Yeah.
We have a hard enough time with the crypts. Usually when we order crypts, I like to keep them for at least a month.
Okay, transition them over to...
Before we sell. I just want to see if they're going to melt or not. The last 2 shipments of crypts were pretty melted. You know, eventually they just melted, and then, you know, we just keep trying. But for the most part, we want to have a lot of plants, you know, because it's more of a specialty store than a normal fish store. We don't sell any... we don't sell a whole lot of supplies. The supplies that we do are the aquarium co-op stuff.
Yeah, I saw you guys are store ambassadors for them, or?
Yeah, so we do aquarium co-op, and you know, great stuff.
Are these the new sponge filters? The ones that they're less fine, I guess what they're calling fine, or
no? I think these are still the coarse.
The coarse.
Yeah, we haven't gotten the fine ones yet, but their product line is amazing. Their support is amazing. And their advertising is amazing. Like, we don't have to advertise anything because Corey does everything already. His team, you know, they're all over social media, and it's just nice to have in the store, because people will come here specifically for this, and then we'll come and see. Oh, hey, I want to get this. I want to get that.
One of the things that I also observed is it required when you're trying to root these plants to have a media in the baskets for these, or can you just put the roots straight into the water?
You can put them straight in the tank. The baskets that we're using are by Carry.
Okay.
Yeah, so we work with Carry, and we sell their products.
Oh, okay.
And they work really well for hanging things on the fish tank. We're using leca for the media, and it's just better for the plants to kind of like, you know, get stronger roots and stuff like that. And then whatever will come out of the basket will come out of the basket, and then you can get your roots. But then you could also have something like
that.
This,
yeah,
where they're just hanging on. You don't really need it, but then, you know, this one we can navigate anywhere. I actually rooted these guys, I think about like 6 months ago, to just be able to sell to someone who wants a long potos. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, I do appreciate you, Miguel, taking the time out to kind of share your store with us. Yep. Again, one of the things that I really found interesting when I was looking you guys up online, I've come a couple of times and I hadn't seen it pop up. Did you guys change something on your Googles? Because now it did show up when I searched it on Google Maps, and the store wasn't showing up before that.
Well, we just recently did a name change on Google. Mike and Miguel's Fish and Plant Store. Before it was Discus America, but pretty much if anyone searched for a fish store in Las Vegas, Discus America will pop up before, and then now Discus America, we've changed it on Google to Mike and Miguel's Fish and Plant Store.
All right, well,
we're still in the process of the whole name change, and it's getting a bit pricey with all the signage and all of that stuff, and then changing around to a different kind of fish, you know.
And you guys are open year round?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, in the weekdays is appointment only. Saturday, Sunday, you guys are open to the public.
I'm here every Saturday.
What are your store hours on the weekend?
Saturday, I'm usually here at 9. Store opens at 11.
Okay.
Sunday, store opens at 12 after church until 5.
Okay.
But usually, people that have come here before, you know, I just let them know, hey, just call me on Saturday. Sometimes I'm here at 6 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then basically Monday to Friday, we're here every day between 4 and 5 because we do have to close the store, feed the fish, and all of that stuff. We just have another business that we do in the daytime as well, Monday to Friday.
Well, again, any future plans, anything that you kind of want people to make sure they're on the lookout for?
Other than just tetras and more plants, I'm really excited about the small fish. It's just, I love them.
All right. Well, Miguel, again, thank you so much for allowing us to, be part of this and enjoy your store, and hopefully, wishing you guys the best success, and you guys get a little bit more people that weren't aware that you guys were here to be able to stop by and drop in and check you guys out.
Awesome.
All right.
So that you guys can get plans for everything to be more successful.
Oh, that's super sweet.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, this store I'm really impressed with. I'm always a sucker for plants and aquariums, and I want to thank Miguel for taking the time out and allowing me to film the fish store. And next time you guys are up in Vegas, make sure you guys stop by. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care.